What's going on, everybody? This is another episode of Nolan's Pod. We're back. Do you know how they say it's a feel-good Friday? You know how they say it's a feel-good Friday. Today's not Friday, Today is Monday. So we're going to say today's a feel-good Monday. You know why today's a feel-good Monday? It's because the Cowboys lost yesterday. Right? Who did they lose to? Just look. Right here, right in front of you. Yes, they lost to the Falcons. The Cowboys dropped to 3-5 on the year. The Falcons improved to 6-3 in the NFC South. The Cowboys fall to 3-5. Cowboys are done. They're done. Do we feel sorry for the Cowboys? Y'all might feel sorry for the Cowboys, but I don't, because I don't. I love it. I love to see them fall down. I love it. It just brings joy to my day. One question I have is, they say the Cowboys are still those boys, but are y'all really still them boys? Are y'all really still them boys? Are y'all really still them boys? Woo, man. Man, oh man. Let's get into the stats of this game. The Cowboys don't have a run game. They didn't have Ezekiel Elliott. He had missed some team meetings. And they kept him out as disciplinary action for not showing up to team meetings and stuff like that. He had missed like 3 team meetings. Not having Ezekiel Elliott would not have made a difference yesterday for the Dallas Cowboys because their run game has been awful all year long. So not having Ezekiel Elliott wouldn't have made a difference anyway. Cowboys run game has been awful all year long. Ezekiel Elliott's way past his prime. The Cowboys, they don't do anything right. Their secondary sucks. They don't have a run game. They can't stop the run on defense. Teams just run the ball down their throats. And then you have a play where on special teams, they fake a punt on the 4th and 2 instead of just punting it to the Falcons. They try to force something to happen, force something good to happen. They fake a punt and they throw it on 4th and 2, and they weren't successful doing it. It was an incomplete pass. Ball goes back to the Falcons. Falcons have good field position right off the jump. The Falcons actually scored a touchdown after that happened on the fake punt. So what I would tell you is the Cowboys are doing a lot of pressing. They're trying to make good things happen, and they're trying to force these things instead of letting the game come to you. In any sport, you have to let the game come to you. You can't try to force good things to happen. You have to just let it happen. Let the game come to you. And once you do that, you'll be much more successful. But if you're trying to force good things to happen, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. One thing that I see people getting on the Cowboys about is how Jerry Jones paid Dak Prescott all this money and he's overpaid. But y'all are the ones that said pay Dak Prescott his money. He deserves the money because of the year that he put up last year. The type of year that he put up last year. Y'all said pay the man. He gets paid. He's not playing well. Now oh, he's the most overpaid quarterback this year. He's the most overpaid quarterback in history. He's the most overpaid quarterback in history. Oh, y'all shouldn't have paid him. Y'all were the ones that told Jerry Jones to pay him. Jerry Jones told or Jerry Jones rather, he paid Dak. Now that Dak's been paid, now like, oh, he doesn't deserve the money. It's not all Dak's fault. One thing that we do on these shows and on these podcasts is we blame the quarterback for every single thing. It's not all Dak's fault. Other than CeeDee Lamb, the Cowboys have no playmakers outside of CeeDee Lamb. They don't have any running backs that's effective, at least. On the defense, they have injuries. Michael Parsons has missed like 4 games. Deron Bland, cornerback, has missed like 4 games. They're depleted. And even if this team is not depleted injury-wise, they're still a bad team. It just doesn't matter. Healthy or not, they're a bad team. Dak Prescott hurt his hamstring yesterday on a throw. So that's not good. And he also hurt his hand. He's getting an MRI today. CeeDee Lamb hurt his wrist, and he also hurt his shoulder. And after the Falcons seen that his shoulder was hurt, they went after CeeDee Lamb's shoulder, as any other team would. You see somebody's hurt, you see what's hurting them, and you try to go after that very thing. The Falcons, they went after CeeDee Lamb's shoulder, as any team would have anyway. Nothing dirty about it. Any other team would have did it. The Falcons did it. They went after CeeDee Lamb's hurt shoulder. The bigger question that I have is, what's going to be the results of Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb's MRI when they have it today? Dak Prescott, he's probably going to miss some time. I'm telling you, hamstring injuries they take time. It's not an overnight thing, or you're just going to miss 1 week. Hamstring injuries take time. It takes time. It takes a lot of time to heal up. And how Dak Prescott looked after he threw that ball, and you seen his face, it did not look good. It did not look great. Dak Prescott is known for having an injury, but he's known for healing up fast, I should say. He's a fast healer. So the Cowboys, they better hope for the best with these MRIs with CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott, because if they have to miss an extended period of time, you could kiss the season goodbye. In my opinion, if they don't miss any time, you could kiss the season goodbye with them. But you could especially kiss the season goodbye without them. And at 3-5, and you have the Washington Commanders first in the NFC East. Behind the Washington Commanders, you have the Philadelphia Eagles, and then you got the Dallas Cowboys third in the NFC East. The Cowboys are done right now. They're done today. It doesn't even matter if Dak and CD was hurt. They're done anyway. As a team, mentally and physically, this team is done. You can see it with their body language. They're just done. They don't have no fight left in them. They're not trying to fight. And everything that they do as far as trying to fight is just force. It's just force, force, force. These guys look depleted. They don't even look happy playing with one another. Half the time, they're not even on the same page as a team. The Cowboys have so many problems that, if you wanted to feel bad for the Cowboys, I would say now is the time to start feeling bad for the Cowboys. Me, I don't feel bad for them at all. I like it. I love it. I love it. Because you haven't heard anything from the fans in a while, because they've shut up because the Cowboys aren't doing anything. They don't have nothing to gloat about. The fans don't have anything to gloat about. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Let's get some stats in with this game. Dak Prescott was 18 of 24 in passing and completions. He had 133 yards, 1 touchdown. Dak was sacked 3 times. Rico Dowdley he had 12 carries for 75 yards. He had 5 receptions, 32 yards. And he had 1 touchdown. Rico Dowdley's touchdown was on that play where Dak threw it in the end zone, and Rico Dowdley caught the ball on his butt. Literally caught the ball when he was on his butt. Literally. He did a little bit of juggling, but he was still able to hang on to the ball. Jake Ferguson had 7 receptions for 71 yards. CeeDee Lamb had 8 receptions for 47 yards. Kevontae Turpin had 3 receptions for 36 yards. The Cowboys were 3 of 13 on third down. They were on fourth down. The Cowboys were 1 of 5 on fourth down. They finished with 137 rushing yards and 9 penalties. The thing that hurt the Cowboys in this game was fourth down. They try a 4th and 1 jet sweep play with CeeDee Lamb. It gets blown up. The Falcons blow that up in the Cowboys' face. Cowboys don't get that, can't convert that. You try a jet sweep play on 4th and 1 with CeeDee Lamb. That tells you everything that you need to know right there. The Cowboys' run game is awful if you have to use your wide receiver as your running back on a 4th and 1 on a jet sweep play. That tells you everything you need to know. Not only that, the Cowboys' play calling just sucked. You didn't have to call a jet sweep play on a 4th and 1. I don't even understand why that was did. It's not for me to understand. I don't even care. I'm happy they didn't get it. Obviously, I'm a Falcons fan, so I'm happy one way or the other. I don't even know why the hell you even running a jet sweep play on a 4th and 1. You don't have to do that. The Falcons blew it up, as I told you guys. Another thing that killed the Cowboys, which I mentioned was 4th down. The other thing that killed them was 9 penalties. 9 penalties. You had like 3 of them that was on false starts. Offensive lines not in sync. You know, the penalties really hurt the Cowboys in this game. 9 of them, they hurt the Cowboys in this game. They really did. That was another thing that set them back in this game. The Cowboys are the second worst in the NFL in points per game allowed. Second worst in the NFL are the Dallas Cowboys in points per game allowed. The Dallas Cowboys are third worst in the NFL in total yards per game. The Cowboys are third worst in the NFL in total yards given up per game. The Falcons, they continue to roll. The Falcons they beat Philadelphia. They beat Tampa Bay twice. They beat the Saints. We got the Saints this week. The Falcons are like 4-0 in their own division, which is good. We beat Carolina, So we have another division rival coming up this week. We go down to New Orleans, play the Saints. We already beaten the Saints. The division games are really, really important. We know that. We look to take care of business against the Saints like we have against all the other division foes. The stats on this game for the Falcons, Kirk Cousins was 19 of 24 incompletions, 222 yards, 3 touchdowns. Kirk Cousins was sacked 2 times. Bijan Robinson did Bijan Robinson type things. Bijan Robinson had 19 carries for 86 yards. Bijan Robinson also had 7 receptions for 59 yards. Tyler Algier had 6 carries for 18 yards. Darnell Mooney had 5 receptions, 88 yards, 1 touchdown. Darnell Mooney's touchdown came on a 4th and 3 play. 4th and 3rd. The Falcons got a touchdown off of a 4th and 3rd. The Dallas Cowboys defense allowed a Falcon touchdown on a 4th and 3. Not just a first down on a 4th and 3. They allowed a touchdown. That tells you everything you need to know about the Dallas Cowboys defense right there. You on a 4th and 3, you allow a touchdown. I get if you allow a first down, I get that. But a touchdown, really, Dallas Cowboys defense is woo man. Ray McLeod had 3 receptions for 28 yards. He had a touchdown. Kirk Cousins hit him on the dime in the end zone. Drake London had 2 receptions for 27 yards. If there was anything yesterday that could have went wrong for the Falcons, and it's just one thing that went wrong for the Falcons yesterday, that's Drake London injuring his hip and having to leave the game. That's the only thing that went wrong for the Falcons yesterday, was Drake London's having to lead the game with a hip injury. Hopefully Drake London's okay. Big part of our offense. We know we need him. Hopefully it's nothing serious. We're obviously going to find out more about Drake London this week. On 3rd down, the Falcons were 4-13 on 3rd down. On 4th down, the Falcons were 2 for 2. The Cowboys were 1 for 5 on fourth down, and the Falcons were 2 for 2 on fourth down. That's a huge difference. Obviously. And another thing that lost the Cowboys this game, y'all do a fake punt on a 4th and 2 and try to throw it. I think I mentioned it already. If I didn't, my bad. A fake punt on a 4th and 2. Just punt the ball. Why are you trying to fake punt? Y'all throw the ball. It's incomplete. The Falcons get a touchdown because they have good field position. That's another thing. Why are y'all trying to fake punt? Just punt the ball. That's what I'm telling you guys about. That's what I'm talking about. Trying to force something good to happen instead of just letting the game come to you. All in all, this game finished out 27-21. At the end of the day, the Cowboys still had a chance to win this game. The Cowboys did things in this game to hurt themselves. They hurt themselves. They had a chance, and they hurt themselves. The Dallas Cowboys are done. They're done. They are defeated. They don't even like playing with each other. You can see on their body language, they're not even confident as a team anymore. Transitioning to something that I want to get to. This is not football. This is NBA related. We know the Philadelphia 76ers have been going through a rough time. Joel Embiid has been going through a rough time. With him having the setback and not being able to play, and the team getting fined $100,000 for not properly addressing Joel Embiid's status of when he can play or not. And Joel Embiid's just been going through a lot personally anyway, and he's also trying to do his best to get back on the court. Well, a Philadelphia Columnist called Joel Embiid out. Okay, cool. You can call out a player in the media anytime you want to. That's what columnists in the media and the critics, that's what they do. Players are okay with that. That comes with the territory of sports. You know, me included, I do this podcast. Somebody's not playing well, you call them out. If somebody's playing well, you call them out and you say, yeah, he's played well today. He had a good game. Or you say, he had a bad game. The team sucks, whatever. Just like I did with the Cowboys. They're done. They suck. Gave my opinion on it. You know. One thing about media is you can say whatever you want to as far as sports related. When you step out of the line and you talk about these sports players' families, that's when you cross a line. That's a no-no. That's when you're crossing a line. This Philadelphia Columnist called out Joel Embiid. It's okay to call out Joel Embiid and say he's out of shape and say he needs to play, say he needs to get back for his team because they're struggling right now. It's okay that you say all those things. The minute you start talking about Joel Embiid's dead brother or his son, and you step out of, that's when you're stepping out of the line. You don't talk about people's family. That's one thing and that's in life, period. You don't talk about people's family. You don't do that. And this Philadelphia Columnist stepped out of the line. I'm going to share with you what he said, and I'm also going to have in the quote on my video, on my podcast, I'm actually going to have up for you guys. But I'm going to read it right now. And I quote what this Philadelphia Columnist said. Joel Embiid consistently points to the birth of his son Arthur as the major inflection point in his basketball career. He often says that he wants to be great. He often says that he wants to be great to leave a legacy for the boy named after his little brother, who tragically died in an automobile accident when Embiid was in his first year as a 76er. Well, in order to be great at your job, you first have to show up for work. Let me read that again. Joel Embiid consistently points to the birth of his son Arthur as the major inflection point in his basketball career. He often says that he wants to be great, to leave a legacy for the boy named after his little brother who tragically died in an automobile accident when Embiid was in his first year as a Philadelphia 76er. Well, in order to be great at your job, you first have to show up for work. You don't put somebody's dead brother and his son into it. You don't do that. You stepped out of line. My whole thing is, in the locker room, Embiid confronted the Philadelphia Columnist in the locker room after Saturday's game, and it was a report that Joel Embiid threw a punch. Joel Embiid did not throw a punch. He got shoved. He was shoved the reporter. That's what happened. It got broken up. The Philadelphia 76ers have made the NBA aware of the situation. The Philadelphia 76ers are now being investigated again. My personal opinion on this, Joel Embiid's probably going to get fined because he did shove a reporter at the end of the day. And you don't do that. My opinion on it is, man, look, you don't talk about somebody's family. In the Philadelphia Columnist, he had it coming to him. Joel Embiid is probably going to also get fined for threatening the man's life. But this man had it coming to him. No, we don't condone violence on this podcast. Let me make that very, very clear. We don't condone violence on this podcast. But the minute that you talk about somebody's family, the Philadelphia Columnist had it coming to him. Joel Embiid threatened him. He shoved the man. And he said what he said. Whatever comes out of this situation, I feel bad for Joel Embiid because, this media, man, Philadelphia media is something else. And Joel Embiid is doing everything he can to try to get back out on the court and play. But when you have the media coming at you and coming at your family, that's something totally different. Outside of basketball, that's something totally different that you have to go through and you have to deal with. So I just personally feel for Joel Embiid. It's ridiculous that we have to have this conversation about somebody stepping out of the line and talk about somebody's family. And just not keeping it straight. Keep it straight with basketball. Don't step out of line and do all that. That's all I have for you guys today. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this situation with Joel Embiid and his Philadelphia Columnist. Let me know what you think about the Falcons win over the Cowboys. And are the Cowboys, are they still them boys?